Hey guys, Zane Hyde here from the Nexus Schoolhouse, bringing you another high-level replay review from an SL game from a couple of days ago, where we are playing main tank Leoric on Tomb of the Spider Queen into a main tank Stitches. I really like Leoric in this situation for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's really easy for me to int and take the hook so that my teammates don't. And it's very, very safe if I get gorged, because then I get to get trait value, provide vision, see where the Stitches is, prevent further hooks, yada, yada, yada. And secondly, because I believe Leoric is a really strong main tank on this map, especially into large immobile frontliners like Stitches, because he has fantastic wave clear, and you can actually use the level 4 talent that increases the slow by 20%, Paralyzing Rage, as an engage. You don't necessarily need to opt for Entomb because of that, although you can. March is just as valuable if you need to sustain in the front line. And right here I end up missing a W because of my hotkey settings being on the wrong setting. Note to self, make sure to change that. For the first wave, you generally just want to look for a Q on an enemy hero. As a reminder, if you hit an enemy hero with your Q, in addition to everything else it gives you, it will also refund 50% of the cooldown and the mana cost. Here, I just end up taking a hook, so I just walk into towers and int, because it's faster than, you know, backing and coming all the way back, or taking my tap, which is just kind of a waste at this point in time. The enemy team's wave clear is actually so slow that we're able to get quite a bit further ahead from them. And then right here, I just start punching these Stitches because he is the largest HP target and I want to get good value off of my W. Right there, I do what I should have done the first time the hook was incoming, which is I pop my E in order to eat the hook correctly. It's pretty easy to predict when a Stitches is going to hook at this kind of range because you can see him the entire time. So you know he's going to hook whenever he just stops moving or starts turning around. Right here, we're getting ahead on our waves, which is fantastic. You can see we're ahead over here. Actually, we're behind over here. I lied completely. I'm surprised we fell behind on this wave. At this point in time, we end up collapsing on bottom to find this Gazlo. The level 4 slow isn't quite available yet, but the regular slow is just barely enough for us to get that kill. And at this point in time, I tell my teammate, the Lunara, who is in comms with me, to take the bottom siege camp and allow me to double soak topside. Now, Brightwing is a little bit overextended here, so we are going to find some damage chunk on her, which is very nice. And then we're able to get a little bit ahead on waves. Now, our wave clear isn't very good besides me until Sylvanas gets level 4 if she opts for the wave clear talent. I'm not quite sure what she did opt for. The Rexstar has fantastic wave clear, and right here I'm actually going to check if the enemy team is on bruisers. Now, if this was just the gray main by himself, I would have invaded and killed him, or at least forced the Brightwing teleport, but the Gazlo's right there at full HP, so there's literally no way for me to win this, especially, again, with the Brightwing teleport being an option. We don't have a global to match that, so it would just be a 1v3, and that's inting. Now, I get level 4 just in time for this kill, so right after the stun, I apply the slow, and then I start body blocking the Stitches in. Our damage kind of splits off and ends up not focusing the correct target. So I just step to the side here, throw out another Q, throw out some auto attacks. We find another stun onto the Gazlo. I throw my W out. I actually miss the Gazlo, and because of that, we almost missed the kill. But I myself am able to just barely get out alive. So the power you're seeing here for main tank Leoric is basically twofold. One, he clears the wave, which is really nice. And number two, he heals himself. If you don't land the W, it is extremely difficult for you to frontline as Leoric. It's really imperative that the W lands. If you miss the W, you're effectively not a hero for the next 10 seconds until it comes back up. You need to back off immediately, or you need to, you know, use your ultimate to save yourself because you've messed up. We do see the Asmodan low resources in the top lane. I'm kind of worried my Kerosene is about to int. It kind of looks like he just is. The TP comes in from the Brightwing right here, and I end up ignoring the Brightwing just to confirm the kill on the Asmodan. We could have played it a little more greedy and tried to go body block the Brightwing, but I don't think the Sylvanas would have been on the same page as me, so it's a little bit risky to try for that maneuver. Right here, we end up charging through the mid, and we find another Q on 2 targets. I put my W directly on the Stitches, and because these towers are disabled, I can just walk right into them and keep my W rolling. Right here, I'm looking for a Q onto this gray main, but I'm not able to quite find it. I want to put a W on him, but then I realize, hey, the Stitches is still here, and he actually just got hit by my Q, which slows him massively. So I just end up throwing a W on him and chasing him under towers to try to kill him. We do get just enough damage for us to kill him, and then I get to back out with my E, which is fantastic. I managed to live while achieving a kill. Rare occurrence. And then we go and take our tap. And we're going to fast forward through the gem turn-in phase right here. We've got 38 gems left, so if everybody turns in, we should just have it. Right, we needed to get our Rexstar in. Right here, I end up queuing forward, again killing the Gazlo. Exact same thing as before, except this time the stun came second and the slow came first. CC chains, really easy to execute. Just make sure you don't overlap your CC and tell your teammate what to do, and then problems are solved. Now, right here, I knew the Stitches wanted to check bottom because he hasn't seen our gem turner for a while. I do dismount him right here. I find the slow, I put the W on, and then I E forward, and I try to find the body block right here onto these two targets. I just kind of spin in circles. Right here, had I stepped down a little bit quicker, I would have been able to body block this Brightwing between the Stitches, myself, the Rexar, and this wall. But I just barely end up missing it, and he ends up squeezing on through. He does end up dying to the kerosene, but that was definitely something I could have done much, much better if I had just a little bit better mechanics. I am low resources here, so I end up going for a tap and then the minion wave. Again, Fealty unto death level 1. Whenever a friendly or enemy minion dies, restore 1.25% of your maximum HP and 6 mana. So it's really easy for you to sustain up off of clearing a wave or two. My team is hard pushing in the mid right now with the gate already down, so we're going to get good damage onto this fort, especially because of the Sylvanas trait, which should come in momentarily. And then we see top wave is also pushed in, but Azmodan's going to be able to free clear this, so this isn't going to get as much value. It's worth noting, on Tomb of the Spider Queen, these little guys with the 6 arms do way more damage than the Spider Queen herself. The only thing the Spider Queen does to actually offer reasonable DPS is that purple wave you just saw, but these little guys are actually the ones that chunk buildings. They hit extremely hard. You can actually see the HP jump down every time they auto attack. And these are the guys you need to clear first if you want to clear the objective efficiently and make sure you get maximum value. I do end up going really hard on the Gazlo right here. I just kind of wanted to see if I could win the matchup or not, but the Greymane ends up jumping in and ruining our honorable 1v1. Dirty Greymane ruining the honor of the solo lane. We just kind of drift away, go over to mid, look for the enemy Stitches, find the enemy Stitches, put a W on the enemy Stitches. And you can see it's a very tank v tank matchup, right? Leoric is just kind of exists by making other tanks' lives hell, right? And you just kind of infuriate them until they die. And that's basically your game plan. You press Q, you press W. It's a very straightforward process, and in this game in particular, they don't have damage that threatens me besides the Greymane. So as long as I'm not inting to the Greymane, I'm pretty much safe to do whatever I want. Right here, I did notice that the Azmodan was kind of suiciding for top fort. I figure the fort is already screwed and there's no way for me to save it, but I am going to throw my buttons at the Azmodan because right there, 10 rolls for them. That means he gets his Reign of Destruction. He slams that very quickly and pops his ult immediately before he dies. Had he not gotten that, I might have been able to save the fort, but I figured 10 would come quick enough that I wouldn't be able to. He does end up dying to the minion wave right there, and then we just run away from these tiny guys because they explode for a butt ton of damage. They explode for 144 damage, and there's about 10 of them, 12 of them. They explode for a lot if you just stand there and face tank it. We do see Gorge on the enemy Stitches, so that is something for us to be concerned about. If they find a good Gorge, that can potentially turn the game in and of itself. Right here, I was really worried about the hook, but we luckily managed to just barely dodge it. He does walk up for the Gorge, but I end up putting an Entomb right here, which prevents him from going up. He walks over to the left, but the Sylvanas is pretty much safe. She does get the palm at the last possible second. This is what I mean by pretty much safe, in that this Kerosene was paying attention and had palm ready. We do find the heal right there, fantastic, and then they find a huge combo from the Gazlo, but it doesn't manage to kill anything because there's no follow-up damage, no Azmodan Q comes in off of it, and we're just able to clean up the enemy team right here. I apply the slow again. You can really see the impact of that slow. It does last for 2.5 seconds. That is a really long time to barely be able to move. If you don't have a teleport of some kind, it effectively roots you. In terms of how much you can move relative to other people. And at this point in time, we're pretty far ahead. We're up about 2 levels. We're in a very comfortable position. And it's really easy for us to just continue to steamroll this game just by doing what we're doing right now, right? Doing a little bit of goaltending of the objectives. And right here, I am baiting just a little bit because I want to see if the enemy team can get tricked into engaging on me. Right there, I do believe I throw out the Entomb onto 2 targets, and we do find the double engage on the Greymane into a follow-up on the Stitches with the mind control. I have yet to die, mostly because the minion wave here was dying, which gave me a lot of HP. And at this point in time, I just chase the Brightwing down and find the finish with the Q. Fantastic. Now, at this point in time, we're going to go take the boss, and we're going to tag the turn-in at the same time. You're going to see us do something you don't really see happen that often, and that is we're going to hold the boss. And the reason we're going to do this is, 1, we see the Asmo here. And 2, we're about to see the enemy team in bot wave. And because we see the enemy team in bot wave, we're very confident to continue to hold the boss, even though they could come and invade, right? We don't cap this because we want to time it with the objective, but we know they're bottom, so there's no way for them to invade. So we can actually hold this for as long as we want while we get the turn in. Our Kerosene notes, try hard as fuck, which is true. And then we just basically go to run down top. Now this one in time, the Stitches' main play is to come into this cubby and look for a hook over. So I go start threatening this cubby. I am kind of worried about just getting gorged and dying, but if I get gorged, it means my teammate's not getting gorged, which is preferable. Right here, I'm looking for an Entomb over the wall if he does manage to hit the hook. That's why I'm playing so far back here. My team does manage to just find an easy kill. And at this point in time, I just look for the blind Entomb over the wall. I accidentally get the Stitches. I meant to get the Gazlo, but I don't really mind. I hit something, and that's kind of all that matters. I walk forward here with a W, and I have the move speed off the level 7, which allows me to go very, very deep, find the Q onto 2 targets, and then right here, the Brightwing is forced to use TP on the Stitches in order to keep him just barely alive. We do run out. We throw a W back onto the Gazlo, who's the only target I can hit. The Kerosene does hit the palm on us, but I end up not taking any damage, which was incorrect from me. I should have inted right there. And at this point in time, I back off while the rest of my team continues to push really, really hard. I don't know if I believe we don't find the finish right here because the Sylvanas gets gorged and she does try to run away, but I believe she gets slowed. Mind control comes in, they try to finish, they don't quite find it, and then they pretty much just run away. Oh, they do find the kill on the Stitches, fantastic. Now, at this point in time, the Web Weavers have pushed every single lane right in. We've got 3 lanes pushing very, very hard. We basically just need to wait for the enemy team to step out, make a quick mistake, and then we can sweep in, punish off of that, and end the game. Right here, I am telling my teammates I'm looking very actively for an Entomb. I see the Asmodan, and that's kind of the target I want to focus on because he's big, slow, and easy for me to hit. I put the W on him, and he's just dead. At this point in time, the W is going to take away the vast majority of his HP bar, and I can just finish him with autos from here. I do end up missing the second W as well, which is kind of hilarious, but we easily find the kill anyway. And on the bottom side, my team managed to find an engage and kill onto the enemy heroes. Being 3 levels up, it's pretty easy for us to win a team fight, just because the stats difference is so high at this point in time. And we do manage to just find the damage and the kill onto the enemy backline, and at this point in time, it's GG. I hope you guys enjoyed that quick video of Leoric main tank on Entomb the Spider Queen. Feel free to try it for yourself, but just make sure your team knows that you are not offlaning, you are main tanking. That's going to be everything for today, folks. Take care, and we'll see you in the Nexus.